Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Blackforexgroup coming to you with another market analysis video. This morning, we're going to be looking at the USDCAD, the US dollar Canadian dollar. But before we get started to break down this forex pair, we have to state that this video is for economic purposes only. This is not financial advice, okay? But we all know why you guys are here. You guys are here to try to find good, credible Forex content that can help improve your ability as a trader and to help put a little bit of extra money in your pocket, especially in these troubling times, okay? So with that being said, um, let's go ahead and break down this Forex pair, okay? Oh, I don't know if I did say this, but if I didn't, if I did, yeah, you'll just hear it twice. This video is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Okay. So now that we got all that good technical stuff out the way, let's go ahead and break down this Forex pair. Before we get into what's happening on the charts, let us talk about what is happening fundamentally with each currency respectively. Okay. Now, the news for the Canadian dollar did come out positive towards the latter part of last week's trading week. That did make it strong. And also we are starting to see a fluctuation in gas prices and oil prices. Okay. Now oil prices traditionally has a direct correlation with the Canadian dollar. Okay. When oil is strong, the Canadian dollar is strong. When oil is weak, the Canadian dollar is weak. Okay. This is why the Canadian dollar has been one of our lukewarm currencies over these past several trading weeks and even going into this one because its economics has been lukewarm too. So basically, what pushes it towards strong and weak is what's exactly happening with the oil. Okay. And so we don't have a lot of economic news coming out about the Canadian dollar so far during the beginning of this trading week. I don't see any Canadian news coming out about the Canadian dollar until Thursday. Okay, so the last economic news, which was strong for which was good and positive for the Canadian dollar, is what we have to go off of at this point in time. Okay, so what we also have to pay attention to is the oil prices. Now, oil has been going down since the opening of these markets, but it did pick up some, and this was basically due to the Saudi Arabians saying that they were going to increase their barrel per oil. I guess they're going to try to take advantage of this very, very high prices on the oil. That's how they want to do things. It's okay. But that's what they decided they're going to do. So them doing that can cause a surge in the value and the strength of the Canadian dollar. Okay. But on the other hand, if the peace talks between Russia and Ukraine continue to go good, which means that the embargo on Russian gas and oil, on Russian oil and natural gas starts to go away, then we're going to start to see an increase in the world supply of oil, in which prices will go down, in which that will affect the Canadian dollar. It starts to and make it much weaker. Okay. Now with the US dollar, we got several different things going on with that. The economic policies and interventions and measures that's been put in place to battle COVID seems to be battling COVID. I mean, not COVID, excuse me, inflation seems to be battling inflation very aggressively at this present point. And another economic factor that is helping with the strength of the U.S. dollar are the prices of oil as well. Being that even though oil is starting to creep up some, the price of oil has fell dramatically since it was last week. Last week we got as high as like one in the 120s, high teens, high one teens, and then we started to come down now to be at about 105 to 107 per barrel. So that helped out a lot. And as you see that reflected at the gas station, is that the prices of your gas went down by a few cents, even about like 10 cents to 20 cents to 30 cents, somewhere roughly around that area. Okay. Now, how that affects the U.S. dollar is that being that gas prices are so high, consumers that use gas are spending the extra money that they would normally be spending in the stores, they're spending it on gas. So being that gas prices are starting to go down, we're starting to see people have a little bit of extra money in their pocket, which allows them to buy more consumer goods that they may want and that they may need. And this is causing the economy to start to pick up steam. And when the economy starts to pick up steam and starts to grow, this has caused the US dollar to start to gain strength as well. Okay. But if gas prices continue to go up, that's going to be less available money for consumers because they're going to have to they're going to have to spend more money at the pumps, which means that they're going to be buying just the things that they need at the store and be very scarce about that, which means that the economy is going to stagnate and start to shrink because nobody's buying anything. There's no money going into the economy, which is going to cause the US dollar to get weak. And on the other side of that is the economic policies and measures and interventions in place to combat inflation. If those economic policies, measures, and interventions in place, along with the increase in the interest rate, do not tackle inflation aggressively or expeditiously, okay, then we're going to be in a situation where the U.S. dollar is going to be forming much weaker than what it did over the last several trading weeks, and it will lose all its recently gained strength that it has gained since the opening of that trading week. Okay, now that we got all that out the way, let's go ahead and break down what's happening on the chart. Okay, so as you can see, we were ranging out for some time here. That's about towards the end of January to about here, because here you can see it started to move to go all the way down. And here, when it started to go all the way down like this is because the oil prices were getting very, very, very crazy. Very crazy. Typically, oil trades between 50 to 60, 40 to $60 a barrel. When you start getting 70 and 80, that's looked at as crazy. Once we start getting to the hundreds, that is just like astronomically ridiculous. We're in some very, very different times when it comes to oil, for lack of better words. Okay, so those very high oil prices started to have CAD get a surge in strength, and it just started coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down. Okay. And as we got to here, like we stated yesterday, we got to this area. Price did pick up here in this area to where we thought it was going to, but then it came down a lot more aggressively, and that's because the oil prices did started to pick up some. But now, as we can see, that since the USD is gaining strength, that the price is about to start heading back towards the long position. Okay. So we could get to this area here or here before we start ranging out and having a slight push down before we continue to go back up. Okay, so basically what's happening that you're seeing right now is all the sellers are leaving out the building, and now it's the buyers' turn to come in and to party. Okay, so we may get as high as this area here, or get as high as this area here before we start ranging out, coming back down some and having another push up. Okay, or it's a possibility we could range between here and here throughout this New York trading session, just be ranging from here to here to here before price pick up, or we can pick up to this area here, or even this area here before we have a slice push down and start to pick up. Now, the possibility of price rolling over is very possible with this currency pair, being that how oil is traditionally affecting the CAD and non-traditionally affecting the USD. Okay, so if oil continues to go up, then we'll see an increased strength in the CAD, and then we'll see a weakening of the USD, and then price will continue to go down. But as long as we see oil prices are being stable or continue to go down, we should see a increase. We should see an increase in the USD strength, and we should see a decrease in the CAD strength as we continue to go towards the long position. Okay, so target areas would be here and here before you start to see any ranging out and before price starts to drop back. Okay. Hope that information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.